Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Where's the piss bottle? It's over there.
Alright, so there are several articles here in the UK in which has only recently just been broken, I want to say in the last hour and a half, where they're reporting that Tyson Fury is set to receive 80% of the Dillian Whyte fight purse after the WBC have made their ruling. I'm going to quote this article here that I have in front of me, just bear with me and I get it. There we go. So it says Dillian Whyte has been declared the mandatory challenger to the WBC champion Tyson Fury, but will receive just 20% of the purse. Tyson Fury will earn a whopping 80% of the purse should he fail to agree a deal with Dillian Whyte. Heavyweight champion Tyson Fury was ordered to face mandatory challenger Dillian Whyte after failing to negotiate a step-aside deal with Anthony Joshua to face Alexander Usyk. Negotiations were mandated to take place between the two terms, with Fury represented by his promoter Top Rank in the final fight of his current contract. A deal is yet to be struck, and Fury and Whyte have now been ordered to come to terms by January the 11th, which is just January the 11th. What day are we at now? 30th of December. So we're not too far. We're only about 12 days, or see the fight go to purse bid. Should the deadline lapse, bids to stage the fight would then be encouraged, with Fury entitled to 80% of the winnings. The rule from the WBC looks set to put an end to Fury's plan to fight Robert Helenius or Andy Ruiz in a non-title fight. Hopefully it doesn't play, because I was about to play a video there, and hopefully it doesn't, making sure the sound's off. It says here the Gypsy King is considered the highest. Okay, we don't need to. Oh yeah, here we go. Whyte had, however, hoped to receive 45% of the purse for a fight with Fury, who has instead been granted his wish by the WBC. Indeed, the organisation rules state that a mandatory fight will be ordered on a purse split of 55-45 in Fury's favour, although WBC can use their discretion to alter the percentages. I mean, it's the WBC, they just, they'll announce a WBC Santa Claus title, they'll give it to Santa for, beating the crap out of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer if they could. They really would. That's WBC for you. They literally would just make things up out of thin air. 2 plus 2 was 22 title. There you go. Happy days. Who does it go to? It goes to bloody Carol Vorderman, because she's so good at maths. That's the way the WBC did. They literally just make crap up and then just chuck it out there. We've learned that by now, I think. Whyte may be forced to accept the offer from Fury's team, who are willing to give him 25% of the purse and shares of the pay-per-view. But promoter Bob Arum claimed that Whyte was demanding a minimum of $10 million, which equates to £7.5 million. Wow. Before the ruling, matchroom boxer Eddie Hearn has slammed Fury's purse demands, labelling them outrageous. Right, well, that's a lot to take in there in the last, minute and a half. I think this whole, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm nearly sure I saw a report that the arbitration hearing with Dillian Whyte and the WBC isn't set to take place until March. I'm wondering if, because I was under the impression that purse bids or anything kind of to do with this wasn't to be done until then. Now they're saying, unless they could reach an agreement, so pretty much the BBC, from what I can gather in that article, are saying, make the fight now, or we go to purse bids in, 10-13 days, and this is what you're going to get, take it or leave it. I've seen a lot of people say that they've no sympathy for Dillian Whyte in this scenario, because Dillian Whyte has really dug his heels in. He's wanted to go the WBC route, despite the fact he's had opportunities in the past to fight eliminators for other sanctioning bodies, as well as having to fight with Anthony Joshua. It would have been April 2019, and they're all legitimate cases. I remember the Pulev fight that went open to purse bids. I remember he was a bit upset at Eddie Hearn at that, because some crowd who I'd never heard of. I haven't heard them since, actually. I forget who they are, actually. Wanted it in Bulgaria. First bid wasn't exactly a massive amount of money. He ended up fighting Parker instead. Could have ended up going and fighting Anthony Joshua, as I said, in April 2019. That didn't materialise. He ended up fighting... Well, he went to fight Miller, ended up fighting Ruiz instead. So here we are. Dillian Whyte. It looks pretty likely that he could be potentially facing an 80-20 purse split. If the article there is true and Fury's team are willing to give him 25% plus pay-per-view shares, it's interesting. Now, I did see in the WBC rules, it did actually specify that they could, for mandatory and interim are slightly different. The interim is entitled to more of a percentage split, but WBC can overrule that. Of course they can, and it looks like that's the way it's going. Dillian Whyte wants to go down this road with WBC, asking for $10 million. Considering the fact that apparently he only declared 300 grand from his Povetkin purse, I mean, I got a lot of questions about what's going on with that, but it's really interesting what's going on here with the whole Dillian Whyte Tyson Fury thing. One can't help but wonder if he'd have just... Because... one can't help but wonder if he... Like, I know going into the Povetkin fight in the summer was when last summer gone, is when all this kind of started, where he was talking about going to court with the BBC, he was talking about all this. One can't help but wonder if he'd have just got on with that Povetkin fight, left things be, maybe things would have been different in the fight, maybe he would have still got caught, but certainly we wouldn't be in this mess now, or he wouldn't be in this mess now with the WBC. They would have just ordered, I would imagine anybody would have just ordered the fight, and it would have been, there you go, this is how it is, this is how it's going to be, etc, etc, there you go, get it done. One can't help but wonder, is Sullivan making Whyte jump through particular holes, or maybe just saying, well, you know what, we had to do things our way, you didn't like that, you decided to get in our way, and now we're making life very hard for you. Is something like that happening? I don't know, but it's looking likely that it's going to be 80-20 in terms of the purses for Dillian Whyte. If someone wants, if I'm misinterpreting that information, if I've got something wrong, feel free, let me know in the comment section, but from what it's saying there, it seems quite clear to me that the WBC, I just want to double check it here. Yeah, indeed, the organisation rule states mandatory fights will be... Well, actually, no. Mandatory fights, I think, are less than that, but interim title versus champion will be awarded in a purse split of 55-45 in Fury's favour, although the WBC can use their discretion to alter the percentage. Yeah. And, they says here, deal has not yet been struck. Fury and Whyte will have... Now, in order to come to terms by January the 11th. When is January the 11th? Just out of curiosity. It is Thursday the 30th. It is going to be Monday. So the second week in January. The Monday of the second week in January. So Monday fortnight is when they have to have an arraignment, a deal in place. Otherwise it goes to purse bids. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see who bids for that. Would someone... I mean, I doubt it, but would someone maybe from the Saudi kind of region decide, you know what, we wouldn't mind that fight, let's have it here, put a massive bid in and take it? I don't know. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Just a little bit of news breaking there. I thought I haven't done many videos talking about it because I haven't really been paying much attention to it. I know it's there, but the whole Dillian Whyte WBC thing, it's been kind of all over the shop for the last year and a bit, that I've just kind of been like, so you know when you hear something just so much and there's so much going on, you're just kind of like, yeah, grand. Kind of like, wake me up when we get there. When we know something serious is going to happen, wake me up when we get there. It looks like the Ruiz fight for Fury and the Helenius fight, Gonzo. Likelihood is Dillian Whyte next, but we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Did I misinterpret anything in that text? If I did, feel free to let me know. For now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.